is the most common lie that we say every single day. Not because we want to, but because it feels safer. Raise your hand if you've ever said that you were fine when someone asked how you were feeling. Now keep your hand raised if you were actually fine. Interesting, isn't it? Because most of us, including me, say I am fine not because it's true, but because it's easier. Every morning before stepping out of bed, we wear a mask, an emotional mask. The mask that smiles when we're tired, the mask that laughs to hide pain, the mask that constantly pretends to be okay even when we're practically falling apart. Fine or okay is not a feeling. It's an agreement to not go deeper, to not push further. Every time we pretend to be okay, we press our feelings further down. Sometimes it's because we're scared of oversharing or afraid of being judged. We like to assume that our problems just aren't big enough or that others have it worse. But between this, we forget the importance of truly sharing our feelings and sharing our emotions so that we can feel lighter for once. We often restrain from sharing because of the roles that we play in others' lives. When we're the good child, the responsible sibling, the smart kid, or the close friend, we believe that we have to be the strong one. But you know what the problem is with being the strong one? Strength is expected, empathy is expected, obedience is expected, excellence is expected, reliability is expected. And the cherry on top is the tag of you're strong, you don't need help. Being strong is not just about enduring. It's about being honest. It's about being brave enough to feel and share. Let me tell you about the times when I've worn a mask. On overwhelming days, especially when I'm drowning in assignments, I wear a mask. This mask hides what I truly feel and what I truly look like. It has often been the case when assignments have piled up. Homeworks, projects, competitions are approaching tests. And there is barely any time to breathe. Yet, I have to take up unwanted tasks. And so, one day, I leaped to work as soon as I returned from school. Studied for hours before I finally decided to take a break. Yet, before I could get back to work, I learned that we had to go out for dinner. A family dinner. Now, of course, I couldn't deny I did not want to burden anyone, did not want to trouble anyone, did not want to let them know about how much I had on board. And so, I dressed up, looked at myself in the mirror, stared into my eyes, put up a smile, and left. The dinner was burdensome, and I was low for the entire time. I was asked frequently if I was okay or if anything troubled me, but I kept denying it. Constantly tried putting up a wider smile every time someone asked. As I sat there, suppressed under the weight of pretending to be okay. A part of me, that dinner, a part of me felt alone. Even though I was surrounded by family. They felt like shadows, like invisible placeholders who were present, but not involved. That night, I lay in bed, unable to sleep. As all the emotions that I'd bottled up during the day, fear, distress, worry, discourage, seemed to have clutched me tight. My chest felt heavier and I cried myself to sleep. Did you sleep well? I was asked the next morning. And yes, of course I did. Because after all, I was the responsible child who always had everything under control. I've started to understand that with constantly pretending to be okay, I trained myself to never share my emotions, to never share my thoughts, to never share my feelings, even when someone asks. I trained myself to stretch a helping hand but never ask for it. And so, it took me a long time before I realized that going beyond I'm fine is important. The first time that I ever went beyond I'm fine was not in the moment. It was afterwards. It was after I was over the feeling or after I went numb. It started slow, with me narrating my day, sharing my mood, or occasionally asking for help. But the real turning point though was when my friend shared her emotions, shared her thoughts, talked about the times when she just couldn't do this anymore. And with her occasional reflections, I began to grow bolder, more confident, until one day I shared my emotions, I shared my feelings, I talked about the times when I was exhausted of pretending to be okay. Afterwards, though, I felt exposed, like I had a lot of me out there. But a part of me felt relieved, like I had a load off my head, a load off my shoulders. It took me a while, but I've grown to understand that there's a difference between can't say and don't say. When I can't say something, it's usually because I'm restricted, I'm told not to. But when I don't say something, when I don't share my emotions, don't share my feelings, I choose not to express myself. What I stand here to say is that emotional suppression is taught. It is not inbuilt. Safe places are built when we listen without judging, empathize, and most importantly, normalize the need for emotional support. As a society, we don't encourage emotional expression just enough, but we encourage emotional support. We encourage giving help but never asking for it. And so, it is important to understand that asking for help, asking for support does not make you weak. It does not make you vulnerable. It makes you honest. It makes you brave. It makes you your true self. And so, let's start embracing what we feel. Because maybe the boldest thing that we can say is not "I'm fine." It is letting the mask fall away and sharing what we feel, even when our voice shakes. Thank you.